what is today? Tuesday, September 29th. Tuesday already. Wow. End of the day. We're almost there, almost to hump day. Unfortunately, Carrie's not here tomorrow. Carrie's out of town and she's in Memphis. She was texting me photos yesterday from Graceland where she visited. We went a couple years ago and we were comparing notes on things. She's having a good time there. While we're waiting on people to join, I'm going to throw the obligatory stuff on the screen. Go to coopedup.com and sign up for my email newsletter. There'll be a little pop-up that pops up, because that's what pop-ups do, that you can give me your email address and I will include you in all of the fun there. And then if you are on Instagram, I'm cooped up. That is my handle right there. No, other way. I would not be a good weatherman. I think maybe you have to get used to that. Like, this is my right hand, but I think that y'all are seeing it on the left side. I don't know. It's not mirroring. I wonder if there's a setting on here where I can mirror so that I am doing it the right way. I don't know. Hi, Mama. Good to see you. And Raven is saying, oh, you better bet I'm going to be here. Yes, I have a big topic to talk about today. So let's see. It looks like most people have joined and are here. So we got a little visit from Code Compliance again yesterday. And I didn't talk about it on the show yesterday because it was so fresh and I didn't want to talk about it. But then I was drinking, by the way. I am off the wagon again. Yay, y'all reminded me on the show yesterday and I ran out to 7-Eleven right away. I was like, fuck this. So hopefully my social media is a little bit interesting again. I always feel like it's so boring when I'm sober. But what was I going to say? Oh, so Code Compliance. So I told y'all a while back that we got a visit from Code Compliance at some of our shrubs are at the foot of our driveway that have been there a gazillion years, were reported for being in violation of this thing called the visibility triangle or something. And basically it means at the edges of your driveway so that people can see into your driveway and you can see out of your driveway, right? These bushes have been there forever. We have never had an accident, knock on wood, going in or out of our driveway. Everything is fine. Like, I don't get the big deal of it. So, and here's the other thing that is so weird about it. So they've come by. So the first person came by a few weeks ago and said it was something to do with our conservation district that we live in. Turns out it wasn't. And then that person who reported it, is reporting a lot of other people, is what we were told. And they keep following up on them. They're like, so what's the status of this? So this person not only has so little fucking life and so little time, or so little to do with their time, that they're reporting it, but they're also making notes and following up on it too. Like, literally, this person needs to get a fucking life, get laid, get a hobby. I don't know what you need to get, but you need to get off my fucking back is what it is. So, and other people's too. It's not just us. They're not just picking on us. We were worried about that at first. Todd immediately was like, who did you piss off? But it's not just about us. So then I guess it was on Thursday or Friday of last week, a supervisor from Code Compliance came by and she's like, I personally wanted to come and talk to y'all because I saw how this has been going back and forth and wanted to let you know that unfortunately we have to investigate it because it was reported and blah, blah, blah. And we're sending the guy out on Sunday or Monday to look at it. One of the best guys. And by the way, this guy was super sweet. And I am a firm believer in not killing the messenger. The person who is just doing their job does not deserve my wrath. My husband does not always subscribe to that theory, but that is my theory, that if that person is just doing their job, they do not deserve for me to yell at them. And so, because that's the shittiest thing ever when that happens. So the guy came out. I happened to be home. I was in the driveway doing something with my car. He pulls up and he gets out and he's measuring the shrubs and stuff. And he talks and he's like, first of all, he's like, this is stupid. Like, this area is gorgeous. Your house is an upstanding thing. Our house, by the way, was in D Magazine 2 years ago, I guess, is one of the top 10 most beautiful houses in the city of Dallas. So let's not pretend that this is some shit shack Grey Garden situation going on. And so he measures 20 feet out from the edges of the driveway because this triangle has to do with distance from the driveway, things close to the street, all of that sort of thing. But here's where it gets really, really stupid. Like, this is where the code is stupid. And that's my Julia. I've been watching too much Julia Sugarbaker, Designing Women. That's just stupid. That's what she says all the time. So you can't have anything that is taller than 2.5 feet unless it is taller than 8 feet in this visibility triangle. So we have like 6 giant, like cone shaped hollies there. One of the smallest one is the one nearest the street on one side. He measured it at 7.5 feet. So it is 6 inches shy of being excluded from this visibility triangle. So basically, we could tear out that holly, which is it's in violation of code because people can't see into our driveway, or we can't see out of our driveway allegedly. But we could replace it with something even larger. We could replace it with one of the 10-foot size hollies that we have, that they were all the same size at one point, I'm sure, and they've just grown into that size with sunlight or whatever. This one's a little bit more shaded than the rest of them. So it's all about visibility, but we could technically and legally put something bigger there than what is there now. It makes no sense whatsoever. The guy was like, this is stupid. But he's like, I have to cite you for it. And so they haven't done it yet. We're going to get it in the mail in a couple of weeks. But I am just pissed off. I want to know who. I think it's the same person who reported the gnomes that live across the street. Yes, I said gnomes living across the street. There was an article in the morning news about it, actually. Someone a few years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, started putting up these little gnome doors on the knots in the trees. Super cute. And they've just been, people have been adding a little bit here and there to it. And they just got reported. And someone came and took them. The city said they weren't going to take them down because it got heated about the gnomes. That's how fucked up 2020 is right now. So we got COVID and gnomes. And then someone, I think what pissed people off, someone put up a door that said Black Gnomes Matter or something like that. And then someone, I think, got all pissed off about that. But I am lit up about this. And if I find out who this person is, I normally say that you're irrelevant. I just delete you. But occasionally it exceeds that. I am going to make this fucking person's life a living hell. I'm going to learn the code upside down and backwards, and I'm going to report them for every single little thing. So you better watch it if it's you. What? And Sarah's like, why aren't we live on the scene? I should have done it live outside so you would have seen it. And Suzanne is saying, who is new in the neighborhood? Todd's sister Nina. I don't know. She hasn't had a lot to do today, so she has been looking at all of the property rolls of recent sales of property within a few blocks of us. Cracks me up. Kim was saying, bring on the triangle. Yes, seriously. What else? Time for the world's holliest install. Yeah, biggest holly install. Yes, I mean, these things look, at Christmas, I decorate all of them with lights. So it looks like a field of Christmas trees. Because it is, let me see, I can see from here, there's 4 on the side and like 6 on the other side. So it's like 10 of these things that are lit up at the base of our driveway. And it's the first thing you see when you're coming from the south. It's like the first glimpse of what's coming on here. And then you got the reindeer. And then we've got like 10 hollies on the other side of similar shape that I also decorate, all with lights. It's just magnificent. I love my house at Christmas, and I cannot wait to show y'all on that. I was actually asked last night if I would chair the neighborhood Christmas committee. I was like, let me get through all of this. I got something else big going on that happened today that I can't talk about yet. I'll tell you about it tomorrow because we haven't announced it yet. But it's huge news for me personally that I'll announce tomorrow. Raven thinks I should make it a penis-shaped shrub, 12 feet tall. I know. And Grey Gardens, yes, I love that movie. And I love both of them. I actually like the remake better than the original. The original one embarrasses me because it's actually them. The remake, because it's Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore, doesn't embarrass me as much. But I use that all the time. Here's what you do. Find out who it is, and I fly to Dallas, and we take care of the situation. And I'm not talking code either. I love it. Thank you. You got my back. I love it. And Elizabeth doesn't know why it's making her day, but this is some primetime worthy drama. You know, there ain't no drama like some rich white people drama. Like we can throw it. This is why people want to watch Real Housewives. This is fucking Real Housewives of Kessler Park is what we've got here. And I don't know who it is. And so I don't even go on Nextdoor very much because I think Nextdoor is a social media site where neighborhood dreams go to die. I hate that social media network. But I went on there and I said the same thing I posted here. I was like, "Dear garbage human who lives near me, why must you suck the joy out of everything and blah, blah, blah. And when I find you, I'm going to shove that holly that we're going to have to take out up the same hole where you have the stick." That's what I said. Got some likes on that. I limited it to only my immediate neighborhood. I didn't blast it out to the entire community. But yeah, that's what I put on Facebook last night too. And Aaron says, add a topper to make it legal. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to publicly announce what our strategies are going to be because I don't want this to be able to be used against us in case the bitch ass punk is watching right now. But I'm gonna win. I always win shit like this. So it will be. And Diane thinks I should do an open records request. I know. They probably are so bullshit that they reported it anonymously. Although I don't know how you can follow up on a request if you reported it anonymously. So maybe not. And Frank, he knows a guy. I didn't hear any of that. Culpable deniability, isn't that what that's called? I do not, not doing that. But hey, Frank, I think I owe you $1,200, don't I? I think I do. It was for those tickets to that game that we went to, right? Yeah, I owe you $1,200. Thank you. Are you sure you can't find out who complained? I have always been told that those records are open. Well, they told us here, they're like, we can't share with who it is. And Crystal is that guy. Thank you, Crystal. Oh, man. Get you down here. We'll do some media training. How about that? So that was the code compliance story. That was half my time right there. And Matt does not view a game. What? And maybe Frank and I went to a really expensive drag show. Golden Girls reunion. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. No one would believe a game at all. Actually, though, the only way I would go to a game is if it was like $1,200 tickets, because that means you're probably in a suite. You probably got like bottle service or some food or a bar, private bathrooms, all kinds, like best seats, VIP entrance, good parking, all of that kind of stuff. You know, these seats to the Cowboys. So Todd and I'd been to one Cowboys game at the new stadium and I'd been to one at the old stadium. And I went both times just to experience. The first one was, God, I don't remember how long. It was a million years ago, obviously. Coldest I've ever been in my fucking life. It was one of those where the sleet was coming in. And then Todd and I went, so Todd's company has tickets, I guess, or something, or access to tickets. I don't know the specifics. But they're on the 50-yard line, first row of like the balcony, like the lower balconies. It's one, I mean, they are insane seats. And I'm sure they're crazy expensive. But here's the thing about like going to a Cowboys game. First of all, I don't like being around that many people at once, and I certainly don't like it now. But even though we had awesome seats, the parking, it was like a fucking 25-minute hike just to get from the car to the gate, and then another like 25 minutes to get from the gate and wind your way through the oh my God. And then if you had to pee, oh, it was too much. And here, get this. So the new Cowboy Stadium, AT&T, is that what it's called? Here's the other thing. For those of you who've been to it, you end up just watching the fucking television the whole time. The screen is so humongous that even if you could be like on the field practically, and you would probably be looking at the screen. It is so distracting. I was like, nope, not doing that. Not going there anymore. Matt said, oh, Dorothy. And Suzanne agrees. Yeah, we all need Crystal in our lives. And Frank saying, yeah, for that thing. Yeah. And the person has the case number. Oh, I have a case number. Well, I'll send it. How about I send it to you and you investigate it? And so then you let me know if I should know who it is. How about that? Oh my goodness. Let's see what else. You said, okay, Rod. I have no idea what that means. Oh, is that our mutual friend, Rod? Is that how he is too? Only does it if it's super VIP? Anyway, so that is it. Cheers to that story. Hopefully, it all works itself out. I will keep you posted. Hmm. What else was I going to talk to you about? Oh, the debates are tonight. I will not be watching. Here is my thing. I already know who I'm voting for. They could have it today. Literally, the candidate that I am voting for could do anything short of dying pretty much, and I would probably still vote for him at this point. Also, I am not one of those people who feels the need to read everything and know everything. Like, I don't feel like I have a moral obligation to watch these debates. I don't think there's anything that I'm going to learn that's going to change my mind. I don't think there is anything that I'm going to learn that is not going to frustrate me, or just the whole. I don't. I am choosing with my social and just general media consumption lately, and it's helped me a lot, is to listen to my emotions on stuff, not my brain, not how much I need to know on something, all that. Now, there are certain things you do need to know about, like how to protect yourself from COVID and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm seeing people post constantly stuff and I am finding that I have a or not again or whatever response to things, I've been indiscriminately just snoozing people or unfollowing them. I also do not subscribe to the belief that I owe anybody anything just because we're friends in real life. I do not need to follow you on social media. I can be your friend on Facebook just for a courtesy, but then I'm going to go unfollow your ass because I don't want to see you. I don't want to see the bullshit that you're dealing with, all that. And I'm sure people have snoozed me. I am a lot to take in. I know this. And I don't want you watching this. And thank you for watching. If you do, I don't want you watching this if you are not invested. So thank you. Thank you for being a fan. Who else has been cited? I do know. I'm not going to say their names out loud, but there's a very large house down the street from us with a lot of landscaping that's been cited a lot. There's some people that way. There's some people that way. There's a lot of people that have been cited. So it's not just us. Anyway, so if y'all are watching the debates, peace be with you. God, I hope you're not undecided. If you're an undecided, does that even really exist in this election, especially? And at this point, even if it weren't this election, this close to it, like, are there people who are still literally undecided about stuff? Like, I don't understand that at all. Especially when you have a two-party system like America does, how you could be undecided. Like, I don't get that. What else was I going to talk about? Flu shots. So I was reading an article today because I do read. I just am not reading. I'm not like death scrolling or doom scrolling. What do they call it? I am. Sorry, I saw something over there. It distracted me. I was reading about the flu shots. It is very, very important. Health experts are actually saying, what does it say? It says that this year's flu shot may be the most important flu shot you ever get in your whole life. This year's may be. And they want you to get it before the end of October. I got mine like 3 weeks ago. The kids got theirs on Friday. And by the way, you can go to Tom Thumb, and as long as you're over the age of 8, they will give it to you at Tom Thumb. So you can take your kids there. I've never done that before. We've always gone to the pediatrician, but I don't want to make an appointment, blah, blah, blah. Plus, if you go to Tom Thumb, it's like free on our insurance. Like, we don't have to do anything. And they give you a 10% off coupon. Like, I'm there for that. So they said it's the most important one you'll ever get because it's for a couple of reasons. It's going to reduce the stress on the healthcare system. The less people having flu means there's more attention paid to the people who are actually sick and need better outcomes and all that kind of stuff. Also, less confusion because a lot of the symptoms are similar. And then here's the main thing, though, is it keeps you from getting sick. And if you get the flu and your immune system is compromised, and then you get exposed to COVID, you're going to get it a lot faster because your system is already weakened and all that kind of stuff. So they want everyone to be as strong as possible. So do it as soon as possible. Get your flu shot. Let's see what else were y'all saying here. Crystal's not watching that hot mess. I'm voting next week. Not changing my mind unless there's a videotape of him killing someone. Seriously. And then I might, and then the rest of this says, and then I might think about it. For real. I think, okay, I'm going to be a little political, but not totally. So there's a lot of people who they consider themselves pro-life. I am pro-choice. That does not mean I am pro-abortion. It does not mean I think people should get them indiscriminately, but I do believe in a woman's right to choose for her own healthcare decisions, a myriad of other things. Anyway, so a lot of people are pro-choice, and they're like, "We've got to vote for Trump because he's the pro-choice candidate." I'm like, how many abortions do you think he's paid for? I mean, almost certainly. If he's paid for porn stars, you got to know he's also paid for hookers, and you got to know that he's paid for abortions. I don't. I mean, I don't have any facts about that. And he certainly didn't write it off as a tax deduction that I saw yet. But uh, he has paid for some abortions. There's just no way that he has not. So that is, the acrobatics right now. I mean, it is disappointing that the Olympics were postponed because the sheer acrobatics of these people bending over backwards to justify their reasons for things is just it's gold medal worthy acrobats. I mean, literally, it is. It just blows my mind. And again, I try to keep this. I don't mind talking about politics from a like like anthropological standpoint or shining a light on hypocrisy and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be pro anyone or against anyone necessarily, but when people say things and I'm like basically if I ever make that face, it's okay to talk about here, right? And let's see. I'm not going to get. I'm going to get a little bit political. Introduces abortion as the topic. I know, and then indirectly accuses someone of paying for probably multiple ones. I realize that there's some like of that too, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to show some comments. These are not my comments necessarily, but yes. Elizabeth saying, yeah, just a little bit political. Just a little. Just a little. Totally different subject. So I was reading, sorry, that caught me off guard a little bit. I was reading today also that James Cameron, is that his name? The director of Avatar and Titanic and all of these movies that we all adore. So Avatar is a movie that I did not think I was going to love. Black Panther, he did not do that one, but that was also a movie that I did not think I was going to love. And Black Panther is legit one of my favorite movies. Avatar, I love too. If it is on, I will always watch that shit. And next thing you know, 17 hours later, it's finally over because they are such long movies. I think James Cameron, every time he makes a movie, he's like, can I make it twice as long? But somehow they're not slow. Like I don't think there's really that slow of spots in Titanic. Oh, and I went on this little sidebar here. I went on a date, it was obviously before Todd, and saw Titanic as the date. And that was a huge, y'all know I cry. I'm a crier. I was sobbing in the theater and then even in the car, and the guy's kind of like, are you gonna be okay? So I guess we're not having sex tonight. We can still do it. I did not do that. I did cry. I did not have sex through tears. But I don't know why that story came to mind. But Avatar, so James Cameron, back on track. Get back on track, Cooper. Avatar 2 has finished filming, and Avatar 3 is almost finished filming. And they just, as a matter of coincidence, have been filming it in New Zealand. They were already filming in New Zealand, and then it shut down production for I think 4.5 months is what I saw. News-ish. Keep that in mind. My numbers may not always be correct, but the general direction is 4.5, 6, whatever months they had to shut down. But then they've since finished, and they were filming 2 and 3 at the same time, all of the live scenes, and then they're going to finish making 2. And then they're going to move on to making 3 because all of the scenery, that movie. So this is what I miss about Netflix being the DVDs that you got in the mail. When you would get DVDs in the mail from Netflix, you would get the full DVD and it would have all the bonus scenes and all that kind of stuff. Does Netflix still have that? Because the Avatar one had a shit ton of bonus scenes about how they made stuff, and it is fat. And I love them all anyway, just the bonus scene stuff and the behind the scenes kind of stuff. But the Avatar one is specifically really interesting because James Cameron wanted to make this movie like before Titanic, like forever ago. And the technology wasn't there to make it not look like shit, basically. And so he invented this technology so that he could make this movie. And the main technology they invented is that when they are in the green screen room and there are all the dots all over him and all that stuff, that he has a camera that he can turn and look around at things. And that camera shows like a 360 up and down, side to side view of the world he's looking at. It's like virtual reality, like before virtual reality really existed. And so the movies are insane, right? They're so good. And so 2 and 3, and then he also said that they are in, what did he say? The planning stages of 4 and 5. So there's going to be 5 Avatar movies. That's like a whole. If you watched a marathon of Avatar, when they get done with 5, that's a day of your life that is gone. I mean, by the time he gets it, that last one's going to be like a 9-hour miniseries. Keep the wine flowing. Thank you. Y'all love it when I'm back on the wagon, don't you? Anyway, so, and then just as a sidebar to Disney, if you've been to Disney World, the one in Florida, they have an Avatar land that is bonkers. So I love Disney World very, very much. But one of the things that kind of bugs me about Disney World, specifically the Magic Kingdom, is a lot of it is you're walking and you're just on some cement and then there's a ride. And then you get on the ride and then it's themed and it's basically just telling you a fucking story or whatever. Not very interesting. But I like the magic of it and how clean it is and fun and all that kind of stuff. You know, I love Mickey Mouse, Mickey. Another Mickey right there. But the Avatar land is specifically good because it's so immersive. Like there is, like the world is around you and you're waiting in this line and you have to do a fast pass. And even with the fast pass, it's still like a 35, 45-minute wait. But you do the flight of the Avatar, I think is what it's called. I think they shut the other one down already. I've never even done that one, the Rivers of Light. But the flight of the Avatar one is insane. You're riding on one of those Banshee things and you're flying around and you're sitting on it and it breathes under your legs. And you have a virtual reality thing and you like dive into the water and this thing jumps out at you and you get splashed. It is the best. Pandora is the name of that land, and it's the flight of the Avatar, I think is what it's called. Beth agrees. It is the best ride ever. Like it's just so. And funny enough, it's not even a roller coaster. You were sitting on what looks like one of those mechanical bulls, right? Like when you don't have the glasses on, it looks like the mechanical bull, like just at a Gillies kind of thing, and you're sitting on it. And you put the masks on, and suddenly everywhere you look, you see the land, and you can see I think it's called a Banshee, I think is what they call it. Isn't that what they're called? They and you're riding it, and again, it goes up and down kind of and side to side, and it breathes below your legs. Like it feels like you are literally it is the best. I love it so much. And then Karen is saying, sadly, they announced they will lay off 28,000 workers this year from their theme parks due to COVID. Yes. Oh my God, that's what I was going to talk about also. So I saw on one of the Instagram things I think it was called like Through Walt's Eyes or something. I follow a bunch of Disney people on Instagram, and they were doing a parade video. There's a certain parade. I don't remember which parade it was. I think it was like a villains parade or something that was going down. No, it was the Halloween one because it was like just happened like yesterday or this week. And it was the saddest thing ever. I mean, it was great if you were there as a visitor, but so sad to see on video. This whole parade production is going down. There are more people in the fucking parade than there are watching it. Like, it is just like a scattering. Like, there are more people at my kid's school than were watching this whole damn parade. And these people are just working there because, you know, Disney magic, you got to do it and you got to commit to it. They're even dancing behind the scenes just in case you see them backstage. And they were just working their heart out, and there was like no one there to see it. It was so weird. Y'all know have I ever told you I used to work for Disney? So, and when I say that, when I was in college, I worked for a year at the Disney store at North Park Mall. I am that dork. Yes. It was right when Todd and I first started dating. And because I always had a part-time job, because my first job out of college, I think I made $19,000, maybe $20,000 a year. and I had student loans and all that kind of stuff. So I had a second job, like people do when they don't complain about the student loans. They just go get a fucking second job for a few hours a week to pay off the student loans. That's what I did. Just this Disney is a badass company when it comes to, like, we weren't on the floor, we were on stage or we were backstage. And as you can imagine, I was often center stage, which meant you were the host at the front of the store, center stage. And you never called them customers, you called them guests. Customer was actually code word for shoplifter. So you would say, I believe we have a customer up by the plushes, that sort of thing. It was code. So I don't know. Again, this was 20 years ago, so I don't know if they still do it that way. But And then I went to work at Pottery Barn. I made the full gay circuit, big old gay dork circuit. That's where I met Suzanne, working at Pottery Barn. And yeah. And then what else was, I think that's all I had. Debates, Avatar. Yeah. God, I filled up my time too. That code compliance story. So if you have any advice on what to do next, let me know. If you want to do some detective work, I will give you some numbers and names and stuff, and you can do your magic on my behalf. If you need a couple $100, I'll send it to you for a little bit of services rendered. Oh no, not services, tickets. Tickets to that wonderful drag show. That's what I'm paying you for. Thanks, Frank. And with that, I am going to say bye. Don't forget. Oh, actually, let me look. I think I got all the comments. Yeah. Yeah, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And then also, if you will go to, oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, shit. Coopedup.com. Sign up for my email updates. It'll pop up, will show itself. Give me your email. I don't spam you. It's going to be some things I like, Halloween decorations, Christmas shit. It's probably going to be a lot of Christmas stuff coming. Oh, I learned today that Amazon Prime, I know the Amazon Prime Day, and I forgot what it was. I'll talk about it tomorrow. Carrie will not be here tomorrow because she's on vacation. But I plan to curate some of my favorite Prime deals since I'm an influencer on Amazon as well. And they give me advanced access to the things that they want me to talk about. So we'll do that. And with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. You are loved. I love that you watch it. This is my therapy. Thank you so much. Also, I'll share some big news with you tomorrow that I can share hopefully by then, because I think we will have shared it with the world. Also, am I clearer? I think I'm clearer. It in the playback yesterday, I felt like it looked like I was clear because I got the new computer now. Better memory. All right. I will see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Shit, Koopa says. Talk to you later. Bye.